Phoenix VA does not allow for that.
Okay, thank you. I see my time's run out, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Lamborn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for having this very important hearing. Dr. Mitchell, briefly, on page 15 of your written testimony, you pulled out case number 35 from the IG report as a special circumstance, and please explain why you did so in this particular case.
I want to make it clear that I did not have access to the records that the OIG went through. However, anecdotally, I was told that this was the same patient which I was familiar with, and the details are the same with one glaring omission. In the OIG report, the history starts with the patient presented with the to the ER with his family seeking mental health care. He was evaluated, he declined admission, he was discharged home, he committed suicide the next day. What was not in the report, and I believe this is the same case, if it's not, it should be reported anyway. His parents, he actually was having problems with depression. He called his parents. They brought him to the walk-in mental health care clinic. However, because he had not been enrolled in the Phoenix VA, he was diverted from there to the eligibility and enrollment clinic, where apparently he waited for hours. By the time he got enrolled in the system, he went back to mental health clinic, and it was too late in the day for him to be seen. So then he and his family were diverted to the ER, where again they waited for a lengthy amount of time before they were seen by a psychiatric nurse to evaluate. By that time, the people that were involved said the patient was very tired. He wanted to go home. He declined discharge. He was subsequently discharged at that point to have follow-up the next day in the same clinic that wouldn't see him earlier.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Mr. Griffin, when you shared your draft report with the VA before release, did VA propose any changes or ask any questions regarding what was in or was not in the report?
They did. They requested that we remove several of the case reviews that appear at the beginning of the report. We refused to remove them. They suggested that we flip-flop the blood pressure numbers that were out of order. Of course, we changed that. There were two other minor things, one involving a date that was inconsequential to the outcome of the case review, so we fixed that. There were a couple of verb tenses changed in a recommendation that in no way whatsoever affected the intent of the recommendation, so those were changed. None of the case reviews were substantively changed, and the Secretary agreed to implement all 24 of our recommendations.
And how often do departments ask for changes before the release to the public?
I suspect that there's probably never been a report where there wasn't some minor change not requested. Okay.
Well, I want to talk more about that.
The reason being that they have to implement what we have found and what they are concurring with, and so they're going to scrutinize those things and make sure that they're in total agreement, and they'll also look for those minuscule types of errors that will make the report more accurate.
Well, when the language stating that you could not conclusively assert that there was a connection, do you know who leaked that to the press before the report was made public?
No, I have no idea who leaked that. That was in the report. The report had a date certain for being published. It should not have been leaked, but the fact is it didn't change anything in the report.
Was it someone in your office that leaked it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, and I didn't think so. The word conclusively is not a medical term of art as far as I know, and as a lawyer, I know it's not a legal term of art. On a scale of 1 to 100, where does that fall on the spectrum?
It's a reflection of the professional judgment of our board-certified physicians. There have been a number of suggestions as to how we should do this. We received one from the committee saying we should unequivocally prove that delays cause deaths. We received that on April 9th. What does unequivocally prove mean? We did a review of the quality of care that these 3,409 veterans received. That's what we do in all of our health care reviews. That's what their charter calls for when they were created.
But there could be a connection less than conclusive.
I think in some of them we said it might have improved the course, but to say definitively that this person would not have died if they'd gotten in sooner was a bridge too far for our clinicians, and I'll let Dr. Day expand on that.
The basic problem with this is that it's very difficult to know why somebody actually died. I'm not clairvoyant. I'd ask you to read also the testimony submitted by Dr. Davis, where he supported the methodology we used in our report. That would be death certificates plus a review of the chart. In the case that was discussed previously, case 29, where an individual died after failing to get an implantable heart device quickly, in that report we said, and I'll read exactly what we said, we indicated that, we indicated that he should have gotten the device more timely. He died. I don't know exactly why he died. You'd like to think that he died because he had an arrhythmia to his heart, and that if that device had worked, maybe it would have saved his life. But I don't know that that's why he died. There are circumstances around the weekend of his death that are not included in this report. And the reason that he came to our attention is that he was on a wait list for endocrine clinic. He wasn't on a wait list for cardiology clinic. Secondly, he's not in the group of patients initially where we called those who were on a wait list who received delayed care. He's in the list of patients who we said got substandard care, who in reviewing these cases, we found cases where the care did not meet veterans' quality of care. So this gentleman was delayed in getting care between Phoenix and Tucson. So he's in the part of the draft where I think he belongs. I cannot assert why he died, and that's why we had to...
Okay, Doctor, thank you. My time is way over. I yield back.